Hi guys, today we are going to discuss about urine formation. There are different stages in the urine formation. As you know, glomerular filtration and tubular reabsorption and tubular secretion. In that way, we did complete the glomerular filtration, and now we are going to discuss tubular reabsorption and tubular secretion. Tubular is what? Tube is what? That is renal tubule, which is part of nephron. Nephron has different parts, which is PCT, DCT, Henle loop and collecting duct. Every part has significant role for the urine formation. Here we are going to discuss about the Henle loop. Henle loop, what is the action going to take place in the urine formation? Henle loop mainly it is descending Henle loop and ascending Henle loop. If go to this nephron structure, okay. Before going to this, we are going to discuss about previous one, okay, for the clearance, okay. Urine formation steps, involved in the steps, okay. Urine formation, okay. 3 steps involved. One is glomerular filtration, mean it is the place which is in the glomerular action taking place, okay. Yeah, next one is tubular reabsorption, and third one is tubular secretion, Guys, here the action going to take place within the glomerular, we can call glomerular filtration, okay. Yeah, tubular secretion and tubular reabsorption is what? Tubular secretion and tubular reabsorption. Tube, this is the nephron, if you come to know, this is the nephron, okay. This is the glomerular, part of the glomerular, this is the renal tube, mean which is the lumen of the nephron, okay. Nephron itself glomerular and as well this is the Bowman's capsule and glomerular and as well renal tubule, okay. Tubule is what? There are places which is PCT, first one, okay, proximal convoluted tube. Next one, this is Henle loop, this is hairpin like structure, we can call Henle loop, and this part is DCT, distal convoluted tube, and this part is collecting duct. These are the parts, okay. Urine formation is going to take place here first initially. Glomerular filtration, filter is going to take place. After filter, what is the reaction is going to take place within the tube to form the urea, okay. This is the first place is PCT. These two actions are going to take place. Tubular reabsorption is there, tubular secretion is there in the PCT part. At the same time, this is Henle loop, right? This down part of the Henle loop we can call descending Henle loop, and this is going to up, we can call ascending Henle loop. These are the parts also involved in the tubular reabsorption and tubular secretion, okay. Yes, and yeah, what are the steps involved in that? Next, DCT and collecting duct, these together involved in the tubular reabsorption and tubular secretion. We are going to discuss about it, clear, okay. Yep. And sorry, yes, yes. What are the reactions going to take place in the descending Henle loop, okay, descending limb of Henle? Water is permeable, yeah, we are going to discuss about it. Concentration will increase when losing of water, concentration increasing when losing of water. Descending Henle limb actually called concentration limb, descending Henle loop actually called concentration limb. This is permeable to the impermeable to the ions like Na, sodium, okay. Medullary ionic concentration is very high, okay. These conditions are going to take place okay, in the descending Henle loop. How these conditions going to take place? We are going to discuss each and everything. First of all, why water is permeable for the like tubular, for the tube, okay. This is capillary and a tube. Between the action is going to take place capillary and tube. Why water is permeable, okay. What is the like ionic concentration in that, okay. What are the like medullary interstitial fluid going to take responsible, okay. Yes. Next one, concentration will increase when losing the water. If the water is permeable, concentration increase. When water is permeable mean if the permeability of water leads to the loss of water there, okay. Water going to be diffusion or osmosis somewhere, okay. We are going to discuss. Descending lymph actually called concentrated lymph. How this, okay. And it is impermeable to the urea and NaCl, impermeable for the ions. Finally, it made concentrated is high. This lymph, guys, we are going to discuss about from here to here, this lymph, okay. Yep. What is this? We are going to discuss about it. Yeah, this is Bowman's capsule, and PCT, and which one is better color here? Yep. This, yeah, I'm not getting here best color. Yep. PCT part, and this is DCT part, sorry, Henle lymph. I'm going to give you clear about it. PCT part, yeah, okay. This is Henle lymph, descending Henle loop. This is ascending Henle lymph. Descending Henle loop and ascending Henle loop. This is PCT. This is PCT. Bowman's capsule. Okay. Henle lymph. Descending Henle lymph. This is the nephron, okay. This is the nephron. If solution enter into this, from the Bowman's capsule, okay. Guys, just look into this. This is the blood capillary, capillary are all over to cover the nephron itself. This is also blood capillary, cover the nephron. Blood capillary cover the nephron to give the oxygen, okay. Yes. And just look into this. Here two mediums are there. Which is the fluid enter from the blood to the Bowman's capsule. The fluid enter into the Bowman's capsule into the lumen of the nephron. What are the fluid? It is maybe water, okay, glucose, and ions like NaCl, like this carbonates, urea. These are the ions enter into lumen, okay. Ions, these ions which they enter, they did reabsorb into like capillary network. They did reabsorption going to take place. 70 to 80% reabsorption going to take place in the PCT, okay. From where to where? From this lumen of the nephron into capillary network, into the blood. Capillary network nothing but it is the blood vessel, okay. Yes, if the enter 80%, the osmolarity here in the DCT part, the osmolarity will decrease. This is Henle loop, decrease into the 300, okay. Where there is a fluid has such ions. If the fluid is there, guys, just look into this. This is one fluid. Here ions are there. How much ions in the DCT? Henle loop, sorry, descending Henle limb, there is a ion concentration is 300, mean per 1000 ml of fluid, 300 ions are there. We have to write this 300 ions per 1000 ml of fluid or water. 300 ml, 300 ions per 1000 mean 1:3, 1/3 or 1:3 ratio, fluid and ions, 1:3 ratio is there. Here where? Here in the descending Henle loop. This is one medium, this is one place, and if you look into this, this is the all over kidney. In this kidney up to PCT it is cortex region, this is medullary region, which is descending Henle limb and ascending Henle limb comes under medulla, okay. Two regions are there, cortex region and medullary region, and another two regions are there. This is the lumen of the nephron and this tissue of the kidney, which is medullary tissue, which is cortex tissue, okay. We can call it as medullary interstitial fluid. This tissue has certain fluid, we can call medullary interstitial fluid. Up to here clear? Just look into this, come again. The fluid which is coming from the blood, that is filtered here. Such a fluid has some ions which is glucose, sodium, potassium and urea and somewhat glucose. They filtered through the glomerular, which they enter into this Bowman's capsule towards the Henle loop, and there is a place which is tube, renal tubule is one place, that is that urinary excretory place, mean excretory part, okay. This is the circulatory part of the blood vessel, and this is as certain concentration, okay, ionic concentration. This place which is kidney place as such a ionic concentration, okay. Yes, that is the place we can call medullary interstitial fluid. This is the cortex interstitial fluid. Medullary interstitial fluid is there, cortex interstitial fluid is there, which is two regions in the kidney, which is cortex region and medullary region, okay. This is as such a concentration, ionic concentration, and this is also such a ionic concentration, different ionic concentration going to take place here. Just assume it is the lumen of the nephron, which is 300 osmolarity, because of PCT almost 70 to 80% reabsorption going to take place. At the same time, ions also reabsorption. Where it is going to take place? This is going to take place into this capillary network, into the blood. Does it mean here 300 osmolarity is there, medullary interstitial fluid, okay, 300 is there, later on 400 is there, 500 is there. Yeah, I will going to give you another color for your observation, okay. Yeah, medullary interstitial fluid as such a concentration which is 300, 1 minute guys, yeah, which is 300, 400, 500, 600, 800, 1000 and finally 1200. This is the concentration gradient, ionic concentration in the medullary interstitial fluid. This is the medulla. I will give you such a diagram, easy diagram. If this is the medulla, medullary pyramid. In the medullary pyramid, this is the descending Henle loop and this is the place which is ionic concentration from 300 to 1200. Ionic concentration increase towards down, okay, because of different region, different segment, their reabsorption is going to take place. That leads to the different ionic concentration is their medullary interstitial fluid. Okay, cool. If this is the 300, okay, there is a equilibrium of between these two. Okay, yeah. If it is 400 here, but here 300, they do not satisfy with 400 for the equilibrium. Like in that way, any fluid of concentration, any concentration of fluid, they can transfer or diffuse or osmosis going to take place from high concentration to low concentration. Here as compared with, this is the high concentration which is medullary pyramid as high concentration, the lumen of the nephron 300 very low concentration. In that way, what is going to happen here? Guys, there is a fluid or ions that should be equalized, like equilibrium, okay. It is satisfy 400. Who can going to like reabsorption or secretion is going to take place here. Just look into this. This 400 is there. Per liter 400 ions are there. Okay. Here per liter 300 ions are there. This is the condition in the Henle loop, descending Henle loop. There is no ions permeable, only water permeable. So water itself going to take place equilibrium here. Okay. So if the loss of water, here water is high, 300 per liter ions water concentration is high. Here the limb of Henle, descending Henle limb, the water concentration is high, water going to reabsorption, enter into the medullary interstitial fluid. Water can be reabsorption, water can be transferred, water can be permeable into the medullary interstitial fluid to satisfy this. If the water loses here, what going to happen? The concentration increase. Okay. If the water loss here, concentration increase like this. Satisfy water is reabsorption, transfer into medullary interstitial fluid, that leads to the water concentration increase here, 700, 900, 1000 and 1200 finally 1200. water is permeable, that leads to water is like osmosis into this Henle lymph, descending Henle lymph towards the medullary interstitial fluid. Okay? Yes, that is going to be equilibrium going to take place in the descending Henle lymph. Condition we have to read again. Yeah, water is permeable. This condition is satisfied. Water is permeable. Water is permeable. The concentration will increase when loss of water, when losses of water, okay, concentration increase. Okay? Yeah, descending lymph actually called concentrated lymph. Just look into this. Just look into this. Concentration increase, right? Going to down, concentration increase. That is we can call descending lymph of Henle is concentrated lymph. Okay? Yes. And it is impermeable to ions like sodium, impermeable of ions like sodium. Ionic concentration very high. So, increase in the descending Henle lymph, there is a ionic concentration is high. Okay? Yes. This is the action is going to take place in the descending Henle lymph. Descending Henle lymph. Okay? Next part. Next part. Okay? Yeah, you are going to look into this. Okay? What are the like reabsorption and secretion in the PCT? This is PCT part, guys. This is descending Henle lymph. The water is exit from the lymph. That leads to the concentration increase. Okay? Just look into this. Okay? Next, ascending Henle lymph. Next, ascending Henle lymph. Just read it, ascending Henle lymph. Okay? In the ascending Henle lymph, ions move out passively in thin segment. Guys, ascending Henle lymph, there is a two regions, which is one is thin segment and one is thick segment. Okay? Yes. Ions are more passive out. Ions are out passively. We are going to discuss next. Okay? Passively mean there is no energy consumption. No energy consumption. There is no energy consumption. Okay? That is we can call passive. Passive, like passive out, ions. Next point. Ions actively pass out from the thick segment, mean ATP utilized. ATP mean energy utilized here. Utilized. Where? Thick segment. Where? Thick segment. Okay? Water is impermeable. That is the difference between ascending lymph and descending lymph. Ascending lymph, there is no water permeable. Descending lymph, there is no ions permeable. Okay? In thick segment, Na is reabsorption takes place. Yeah, obviously ions are permeable, mean sodium is going to take place reabsorption. Reabsorption going to take place. Ions moves out, so it is diluting lymph. Mean descending Henle lymph is the concentrated lymph and ascending lymph is the diluted lymph. Okay? We are going to discuss about it. We are going to discuss about it. Okay? This is the nephron, guys. PCT. This is descending Henle lymph. Henle lymph. This is ascending Henle lymph. Ascending Henle lymph, two regions, thick segment and thin segment. This is collecting duct, DCT and collecting duct. This is what? Here, thick segment is there, thin segment is there. Okay? This is thin, this is thick segment, okay, thin segment and thick segment. Mainly it is impermeable to water, mainly it is impermeable to water, impermeable to water, permeable to ions, permeable to ions. These are the condition here. Just look into this. This is the medullary interstitial fluid. Interstitial fluid mean here as certain ions we discussed, right? Like here 1200 concentration, okay. At the same time here like 1200, 1000, 900, 800, 700, 600 and 400, 300 and 150. This is the concentration is going to take place descending Henle limb. Just see how to that take the place. Here NEA absorption is active mode, actively absorption mean ATP consumption is going to take place with thick segment. Thin segment is a passive absorption. Just look into this. Here water is move away, water is reabsorption is going to take place in the descending Henle limb, okay. Here ions, sodium like sodium ion, the reabsorption is going to take place in the medullary interstitial fluid or else into the blood. If the ions went out, concentration decreasing, NEA enter out mean they move out, sodium move out, sodium mean if the like this is the interstitial fluid concentration 1200, 900, 800, 700, 600, 400, 300. Just look into this. Here 400, here 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1200. Mean if the 1200 ions are there, okay, 1200 ions here there satisfied. If the 1200 ions is there, here more than, sorry, here 900, here 1000 ions is there, they can move away to satisfy. Here 800 and here 900, if it is, they move away. I will give you clear about it, don't confuse it guys. Here 1000 mean here 900, 1000, 1200, okay. Here 700, 600, 500, 300, okay, yeah, up to here 300, okay, yeah. Here 900 is there, here 800 is there. The ions are enter here, imbalance, okay. Ions are from higher concentration to lower concentration, higher to lower, they went out, okay. Here 900 enter into the 800 to satisfy equilibrium, 800, okay. Here 700 ions are moved from the 800 to 700. Same like that, there is a low concentration to high concentration to low concentration, ions are moved up to 150, here 300. As compared with, it is the very dilute, it is the dilute. So, ascending Henle loop is the dilute Henle loop. The conditions are here, just look into this, yes, just look into this. Ascending limb of Henle, okay. Yeah, ions are out passively in thin segment and actively in thick segment. These are the 2 points, and water is impermeable. This is most important, guys. 2024 question in the descending Henle loop, water is permeable, Na is permeable. They did ask in the descending Henle loop. 2024 NEET question. 2024 NEET question. What is the reabsorption going to take place in the descending Henle loop? Okay, yeah, it is opposite to the ascending Henle loop. Here water is impermeable. In the descending Henle loop, sodium is impermeable, water is permeable. Okay, in that way, thick segment sodium is reabsorption is going to take place. In this ion are move out, does it mean it is dilute limb? Okay, concentration of the fluid is very diluted here. Okay, yes, just look into this. Just look into this. Descending Henle limb, water out. Okay, dilute going to take place. Concentration is going to take place. Ascending Henle limb, thin segment and thick segment. Thick segment NaCl out, and thin segment also NaCl out into the, like, out mean this is the blood vessel from the here to here out. Okay, this is active, this is passive. Okay, at the same time urea also enter into the thin segment. Urea also enter into the thin segment. You have to go through this once. Very easy understanding. Yeah, again we have to come this same as this. Okay, yeah, descending Henle limb, ascending Henle limb, what is going to happen? Okay, you have to go through this. Very easy. Okay, yep. Next one. Yeah, this is most important, guys. This is most important. DCT part and collecting duct. If it is this nephron, okay, we completed PCT, okay, glomerular filtration, PCT, Henle limb, descending Henle limb, ascending Henle limb, okay, and this is the DCT and collecting duct. This is a different scenario, guys. This is the different scenario. Mean just to go through this. This is the nephron. In this, there is a different kind of reabsorptions going to take place. From here to here is different. Absorption is going to take place in the PCT. Absorption or secretion is going to take place PCT, Henle limb. Okay, there is a absorption, obligatory absorption, obligatory. There is no external factors involved, only obligatory. There is no conditions. If come to, this is the most important, guys, if come to the DCT and collecting duct, this is we can call facultative reabsorption. Facultative reabsorption. Facultative reabsorption mean conditional reabsorption going to take place. Conditional. Who going to give conditions? Hormones. Like hormones, they can give conditions. Hormones, they can give conditions. What are the conditions? What are the hormones involved in this? Okay, We are going to discuss about it. Okay. Yeah, in the DCT part, in the collecting duct, CT part, okay, what is reabsorption is conditional. This word is important, conditional in the DCT and collecting duct, conditional, okay. Yeah, if you drink more, less reabsorption is going to take place. If drink less, reabsorption is more, okay. Yes, DCT and collecting duct is more permeable to water, sodium, bicarbonate, and like they involve in the sodium potassium pump, okay, sodium potassium pump, okay, leakage channel open. Yeah, the pump is activated when aldosterone hormone acts on it. Aldosterone, if this is the one of the hormone which is act on the PCT part and collecting duct part. If the act on this hormone aldosterone, the pump is going to activate, sodium potassium pump is going to activate. We are going to discuss about it. Yeah, and collecting duct and CT, collecting duct and DCT is permeable to water when all ADH hormone, antidiuretic hormone, work more on collecting duct and DCT. Okay. Aquaporins open when ADH work on DCT and CT. Guys, here you have to remember the hormones involved: aldosterone, and ADH, aldosterone and ADH. Okay. Yeah. So we discussed about if the water is less, if the water is more intake. If the water is more intake, there is no reabsorption is going to take place, right? Obviously. Okay. If the water is less intake, any species or any like requirement of water is not met. So in that condition, conditional hormones release, mean if the water lose away from the body, it is going to take place the dehydration. If we have to protection with the hormones, water if loss, there is a dehydration is going to take place, right? We have to secure the water. The process intake water reabsorption into this part of the nephron, PCT part and DCT part. Okay, we are going to discuss about it. Okay. Okay. This part under influence of hormones, if the water is, yeah, normally if the water is take, less reabsorption is going to take place. If the water is, normally if we take more water, no need to reabsorption, right? No need to reabsorption. Water as it is go away. Okay. Reabsorption is not required. Okay. Yeah, less water is reabsorption. If the drink less water, okay. DCT and collecting duct more permeable to water, and in that way NAS, sodium bicarbonate and sodium potassium pump open when aldosterone is act on it. We are going to discuss about it, guys. this is nephron. If the nephron is like this part DCT, this part is collecting duct. This part, firstly, it is involved in facultative reabsorption. Okay, reabsorption means it is conditional. What are the hormones involved in this? Okay, ADH and aldosterone. And ADH. Aldosterone and ADH. If the water is less intake, okay, that is reabsorption is going to take place into, this is the capillary, blood capillary or medullary interstitial fluid, this is. So, water is intake into the blood. If the water intake, there is a sodium bicarbonate and chlorine, these are the absorption is going to take place. Which part? DCT. How the reabsorption is going to take place? We are going to discuss about it. This is the DCT part of the cuboidal cells. Cuboidal epithelial tissue is, the DCT is made up of with cuboidal epithelial tissue. Okay, this is the blood. Okay, this is the DCT part made up of with cuboidal. Okay, yeah. In this is the lumen of the DCT. Cuboidal, made up of with cuboidal epithelial tissue. So, if the less water is going to take place, mean reabsorption is going to take place into the blood. In this way, aldosterone is activate. Aldosterone, activate, there is a channel, there is a pump, sodium potassium pump. Sodium potassium pump activate aldosterone. In that way, this is the cell. Cell has this cell, sodium, potassium is there in the cuboidal epithelium cells, okay, and sodium also there. If assume sodium is there, एक minute, yeah, this is the channel open here. In the medullary interstitial fluid, Na is there, or Na in the, this is there. So, potassium is there, two medias, okay. In the lumen of the this DCT, sodium is there, potassium is there, okay. If the pump open, sodium reabsorption is going to take place. From this, potassium is enter into the lumen. Mean potassium is secretion, sodium is reabsorption. Sodium is always trying to enter into the tissue. Sodium is always trying to enter into the tissue, mean blood vessel, okay, blood vessel, okay. Sodium always trying to enter into the blood vessel, potassium is always trying to exit out from the cell, okay. This is the cell. Cell as certain potassium is more and sodium is out, always they in out, in the like there is a polarity, okay. Potassium is under cell and sodium is out, like bahar of the cell. Sodium is always trying to enter into the cell, potassium is always trying to exit in the cell. If come to this blood vessel, sodium is always absorption trying to enter, potassium is always exit out in the sodium potassium pump. At the same time, yeah, like bicarbonate, H plus H2CO3 converted into the H plus HCO3 minus. If the HCO3 absorb, H plus exit mean secretion. Sodium is in, potassium is out, mean potassium is secretion, sodium is absorption. H plus is exit out and HCO3 into absorption into the blood vessel. This H plus always trying to go maintain pH of urine. H plus always maintain pH of urine. Here going to take place H plus is secrete that maintain blood pH and as well urine pH here. This is the important where there is a aldosterone is entered act and there is a potassium and sodium channel is open, okay. Yeah, if there any high concentration that leads to the high concentration urine is formed, mean 4 times of higher than PCT or glomerular filter. Where there is a glomerular which is filter here, okay, this is 4 times where there is a collecting duct which is collect the urine which is 4 times higher than this first initial filtrate. This is the filtrate solution is 4 times lesser than this concentrated urine, okay. This is going to take place in the presence of aldosterone and ADH, antidiuretic hormone, ADH, okay. Yeah, this is what about the mechanism going to take place in the DCT and collecting duct, okay. Yeah, I hope are you clear about it. We are going to discuss next part in the next video. Thank you.